Welcome to the Opportunity Culture Orientation Pre-Work Session. Our team at Public Impact is very excited to work with you and your school design teams throughout the design process to plan for what an opportunity culture will look like in your school. During this short session, we will cover the fundamental principles and roles of opportunity culture implementation and its impact in districts and schools. We will conclude with a demonstration of how to access our Opportunity Culture portal, including next steps. Again, I want to say welcome. You're joining a national initiative. Public Impact has worked across the country, learning important lessons and applying those lessons to the Opportunity Culture school design process. Right now, we're in all the places here where you see red dots, which covers very large urban districts such as Chicago and Charlotte, North Carolina, and other urban areas like Indianapolis and Baltimore, to very small rural districts such as Eastern North Carolina, Texas, and Arkansas, and everything in between. The districts vary greatly in their makeup, but many of the challenges they face are very similar, including the need to recruit and retain great teachers and pay them well, and offer them career ladders that let great teachers advance without having to leave the classroom. It's exciting to know that educators all over the country want to help students learn a lot more. And we're so excited to welcome you all into this national community of opportunity culture educators. All the opportunity culture schools across the nation, including your school, share a common commitment that brings each of us to this work. A shared understanding that Opportunity Culture Initiative is not a program, but a commitment to serve both students and teachers. Opportunity Culture schools commit to reaching all students with excellent teaching consistently and reaching all educators with outstanding paid career opportunities, including on-the-job development and well-paid career advancement that keeps great educators working directly with students. This leads to dramatically higher learning growth. The growing coalition of opportunity culture educators producing high growth learning together leads to much higher pay for all and sustains results long term. And while those are fixed principles, we continuously improve our recommendations based on data to help you achieve those goals. Let's consider how opportunity culture, which we shorthand as OC, helps schools live out this commitment. Successful opportunity culture educators and schools see the value in this commitment and the shift from thinking of the Opportunity Culture Initiative as just the latest program or educational fad, as you can see in a few of their quotes here. So take a moment to read them to yourselves and notice what is standing out to you. Opportunity culture models address challenges that you all are familiar with, and you may have experienced these challenges personally. This graphic represents what a typical school looks like. You have one principal leading 16 teachers, and each teacher has their own class of about 25 students. That principal is responsible for leading all instruction in the building and ensuring that each teacher is helping students learn. But we know that that's a tall order for principals. And we also know that some teachers are dramatically helping students, usually about a quarter of the teachers in a building. Research shows that this top quartile of teachers leads students to gain at least 1.5 years worth of learning within one school year. Now, most opportunity culture schools engage in this work for the same reasons, because they face those challenges due to the way most schools are set up. Teachers often work alone without enough support. Excellent teachers have limited in-school options to have a greater impact. Students lose excellent teachers to district jobs and other careers that pay more. Too few students receive excellent teaching consistently, and principals are often stretched way too thin with too many teachers to guide and support. So, how exactly do OC schools address their greatest challenges? Through advanced roles and team based teaching structures. Through the transformation created by these new roles and structures, opportunity culture districts create support and career path opportunities and give students the consistent access they need to excellent teaching. This means that all students will have more consistent access to great teaching. Great teachers have opportunities to move into leadership positions and earn more without leaving the classroom. Teachers receive daily personalized support from teacher leaders, and they may earn more too. And principals can delegate some responsibility for developing instructional excellence to teacher leaders through distributed leadership. Before we dive into more specifics, let's briefly go over what opportunity culture schools do. Opportunity culture schools transform their roles, pay, budgets, and schedules to support instructional excellence and student learning for whole grades and subjects. Opportunity culture schools put excellent teachers called multi-classroom leaders in charge of teaching teams. These multi-classroom leader teams are the foundation of opportunity culture schools. New roles and schedules help every adult contribute to student learning success. This approach transforms instructional methods and has already increased teachers' effectiveness and student learning growth by 27 percentile points on average. But we know that even more is possible for more students. Data and research now show us how these team roles can use every adult's time and talent to boost student learning results even higher than the average opportunity culture school in the past. All of this happens when districts and schools follow the 5 opportunity culture school principles that we'll show you next. As mentioned, all opportunity culture schools are guided by the same commitment. Opportunity culture, or OC for short, schools implement new roles that meet each of these 5 OC principles. Extending the reach of excellent teachers and their teams to more students, paying teachers more for extending their reach, and not just a little bit more, but a substantial amount that corresponds to the increase in responsibilities and would attract or retain high quality teachers and roles that don't take them out of the classroom. Funding pay within regular budgets. This is all about sustainability of the OC roles. Probably the most fundamental challenge of the design process is deciding how to implement these OC roles sustainably. Unlike other teacher leader roles, OC roles do not depend on temporary grants for pay supplements, which ultimately run out and must depend on political will to find funds for them. Additionally, OC schools must provide protected in-school time and clarity about how to use it for planning, collaboration, and development. Much of opportunity culture design, an ongoing refinement each year, involves finding adequate time for teacher leaders to meet with their teams, collaborate with other MCLs in the building, and work with more students. And number 5, matching authority and accountability to each person's responsibilities. We will get into this more throughout the design process, but this principle is one major piece of what distinguishes opportunity culture roles, which have some similarities to other teacher leader roles from positions like instructional coaches and facilitators. With each of these principles in place, every student has the opportunity to have a great teacher every year, and nearly all students can leap ahead like never before and enjoy learning more too. Opportunity culture roles are the means by which the opportunity culture principles come to life in your buildings. Our team has been working with your district to design opportunity culture roles that make sense for your schools, students, and teachers, so that excellent teachers and their teams can reach more students. While our initial opportunity culture work focused on multi-classroom leadership, our research and experience shows that we need roles at multiple levels to make the biggest impact on student learning. Every adult role in the building is focused on contributing to teaching excellence and high growth student learning. To have an impact on all students' learning and social emotional well-being, and not to leave any students or any teachers out, we would like to work ultimately to support all schools and all teachers and provide opportunities for principals to advance. Complete opportunity culture implementation includes school leaders, multi-classroom leaders, team reach or master team reach teachers, reach associates, and teacher residents. Ultimately, it is also includes multi-school leaders, a role in which principal leads several opportunity culture schools. This year, in our initial design phase, we will focus on the teacher and paraprofessional roles. We'll incorporate multi-school leadership as the district expands OC into more schools. One thing to note is whether your district is or is not incorporating paid residencies from the start. If not, keep in mind that while your district doesn't have residencies now, the paraprofessional reach associate role allows for teacher residents in the future to help with recruiting and training great teachers for the future. So let's start with the role of OC school leaders and spend a few minutes previewing how school leaders often adjust and grow their work in an opportunity culture. OC school leaders can be principals, assistant principals, or other administrators who work closely guiding and supporting multi-classroom leaders. School leaders from other OC schools have identified some keys to this. In OC schools, school leaders shift their thinking and work when it comes to leading the instructional vision, coaching teachers, and providing job-embedded PD. Instead of doing the work, school leaders are leading and guiding the work of instructional coaching and teacher support through their team of multi-classroom leaders. While working with multi-classroom leaders and others on the instructional team of leaders to set their instructional vision. OC school leaders also have to give folks in OC roles autonomy to do their jobs effectively. A common pitfall for some leaders when implementing opportunity culture is telling people that they have responsibilities, but continuing to make the decisions and pull the strings from the background. A school leader must also provide multi-classroom leaders with the necessary support in their new adult leadership role, such as weekly check-ins and feedback from their team leadership. In that same vein of support, it is key for OC school leaders who are now leading a team of leaders to release leadership to other team members in a way that effectively develops their leaders by differentiating their leadership style to meet the needs of each team member. And finally, OC school leaders need to create a clear system to track team teachers' progress to know whether their school is on track for success. The foundation of an opportunity culture school is multi-classroom leadership, which features a small collaborative teaching teams led by teachers with leadership skills and a record of high growth student learning. Multi-classroom leaders, or MCLs as we call them, ensure high standards lesson plans, frequent review of data about student progress, and constant improvement so all students learn. They guide and grow their teaching team skills and help teachers and administrators align any volunteer and after-school support to student learning goals. MCLs have significant autonomy to establish the responsibilities for their team members and the collaborative team processes necessary to produce strong student learning. They work with principals and their team to plan total small group time per student, using time and talent of all available adults to achieve greater learning boosts at school. School design teams establish schedules that create extra planning and team collaboration time, and they balance keeping MCL teams small with reaching all grades and core subjects with MCLs as soon as possible. Meanwhile, districts establish pay and career paths for MCLs and the other roles that are sustainable for schools with different funding levels. MCLs earn significantly more for their leadership and accountability. Additionally, an MCL may serve as the primary mentor for a teacher resident. There are two types of MCLs who have different methods of gaining release time and different team sizes. Partial release MCLs continue to teach a classroom of record and get release time from a multi-classroom paraprofessional reach associate, teaching assistant, teacher resident, or other support. They tend to have smaller teams. They're also more financially sustainable than full release MCLs. Full release MCLs, on the other hand, have flexible time all day without a classroom of record, so they can take on larger teams of teachers. Note that although they do not need a reach associate to provide them with release time for working with their team teachers, full release MCLs are still far more costly. The full salary, not just the supplement, must be covered with reallocations. You might be wondering, how does an MCL do all this? Well, on a weekly basis, MCLs engage in a variety of leadership, guidance, and support activities for both teachers and students. Here you see activities that are typical of a more traditional coach or teacher leader, and these are typical for an MCL as well. MCLs observe and debrief with teachers. You may see them observing the classroom, facilitating a debrief conversation, or pushing team teachers and residents to achieve development goals. Beyond that, the MCL position is really designed to provide significantly more guidance and data-driven improvements over what traditional coaching provides. MCLs are also fully leading a team. This guided, monitored instruction is very common among the highest growth MCL teams. Crucially, it's a small team, whereas coaches serve very large numbers of teachers on average. They lead team analysis of student learning data very often, weekly, or more often in some schools. This sharing and analyzing of data and information about student progress is a key component. MCLs and their principal establish the best ways to gather team observations, and all adults share observations about why students are stalled or excelling, not just what they have mastered. And they lead the team to adjust instruction based on that data and to ensure lessons are high standards so every student can make growth. And MCLs co-teach with their teachers, including residents, model lessons, or lead small group lessons. They also teach students directly, either sections of their own class or by pulling small groups of students from their team teachers' classrooms for remediation or extension, which team teachers tell us they greatly appreciate because they and the MCL are in this together. Importantly, MCLs are co-accountable for the student learning growth of the entire team's students, reinforcing that they're in this together with the team. For all of these MCL activities, it's important to remember MCLs have time built into the schedule to handle this workload. Strategic scheduling allows MCLs to do all of this work. Multi-classroom leaders aren't the only new role for opportunity culture schools. Schools also use the role of team reach teachers. Some or all of the teachers on a multi-classroom leaders team may be team reach teachers or TRTs who directly teach more students than usual, but without raising instructional group sizes. A master team reach teacher role can be added to your career ladder as well. Master team reach teachers or MTRTs have a track record of high growth student learning and assist an MCL with leading a larger team. They reach significantly more students and may also coach one or more other team teachers on the team. Team reach teachers and master team reach teachers are always on MCL teams. So how do TRTs on MCL teams reach more students? This is typically done via creative scheduling and paraprofessional resident support. We'll look at examples of this during school design session 2. Again, the team reach teachers teaches more students than typical, and they earn a pay supplement for doing so. TRTs reach more students without increasing instructional group sizes because the MCL team adds advanced paraprofessional support in the role of Reach Associates or teacher residents. Residents learn to teach while providing a service to the school through the duties of a Reach Associate. I'll explain more about these roles in a minute. It's important to note here again that TRTs are always on MCL teams. The Master Team Reach teacher is also a Team Reach teacher on teams in which all teachers extend Reach, but the MTRT takes on additional leadership duties to assist the MCL and directly reaches more students and earns even more than regular TRTs for doing so. There should not be more than one MTRT on an MCL team. It's important to note that school-wide reach of MCL should come before placing MTRTs on any teams. Schools should not fill an MTRT role unless all MCL roles in the school are filled for which a teacher would be qualified. Having the MTRT role creates a more complete, financially sustainable career path, helping with teacher retention, and is especially useful with large teams. The MTRT's additional leadership duties to assist the MCL might include leading PLCs or data analysis meetings for the content area or grade level they teach, or coaching one or more teachers and or a teacher resident if applicable. All of these tasks are done in collaboration with the MCL. The MTRT role can be an important stepping stone to further adult leadership and an MCL role, but people may choose to remain in this role as an assistant leader on a larger team. As we said, MCLs and TRTs may work alongside Reach Associates, which are advanced paraprofessionals who provide release time and support for MCLs and TRTs, who tutor small groups and support students on skills practice. Reach Associates or RAs free up time for MCLs to work with team teachers and for TRTs to work with more students by instructing students in small groups or individually supporting students while they work on projects, skills practice, and digital learning, and supporting the team on other non-instructional tasks. Everything the RA does is instructed by the multi-classroom leader or TRTs. Likewise, a team may include a teacher resident who can serve some of the functions of an RA, supporting the team while getting the on-the-job training from the MCL.